Again, of course. It's like a nightly thing, but I usually am loving every second of it. So, I am actually at a stage right now in this build where I can't do much of anything else because I'm waiting on stuff. So I'm waiting for my torque converter to get here from the land of coronavirus. And then I can get all my driveline, engine and all that stuff hooked up. Can't do anything there. Last night I finished up the skis. I don't think I showed you that. So the machine is actually sitting on its feet right now. I corrected the attitude problem. I've got it tipped slightly backwards like I wanted, a little bit nose up. I discovered that with the skis on, if I fold the handlebars all the way down, they rest right on the handles of the skis. So that's a perfect thing. I put 2 more decals on, and I'm kind of at a standstill right now because I have to wait on stuff. I think Thursday we're gonna go take my hood skins to the sheet metal shop and bend and cut and get those all ready to go so I can get a cover over the engine. Start working on that aspect of it. I still have to do wiring. I still have to order cables, and that's probably what I'll do tonight is measure up, see what I need for cables and what I need for cable ends, and all that other good stuff, and go on Amazon and get those ordered. I came up with another nifty little idea that I'm going to do. Once the skin is on the hood, I'll have a large area right here. You can see this. That will be flat with nothing on it. So, I'm thinking, hey, that's usable space. Granted, the machine is top heavy, but with the skis being on there, that should help a lot with that. But that's usable space. So I'm going to put a rack on that part there that will allow me to carry my ice auger. I'm going to buy a couple of those forked gun carrier things you can put on a rack of an ATV. I'll put a couple of those on there, strap the ice auger down. So the ice auger will basically be, let's see if I can move you here. The ice auger which just happens to be right here, will either be sitting like this on the machine or sideways on the machine. I haven't decided what yet. This way I think it'll interfere with stuff in the bucket, so I might go sideways. And of course, I'll have a pail of equipment in the back. There might be a room up front there for my little fish finder. And then the remaining space on this top portion, I'm going to build a frame that comes up about this high and goes all the way around. And I'll put another piece of this rubber padding on the top, and that'll be storage. Backpack. It can be bungeed down or with a little small cargo net or something. Another neat thing that I'm going to do, and I learned this from experience the hard way, is when I was ripping around with Tim when we went ice fishing and I was on the snowmobile, I had my coffee cup, my big Yeti coffee cup that I carry pretty much everywhere I go. I had to hold it in my hand or between my legs. Well, while I was driving with both hands on the bars, it was between my legs, and then it fell, hit the tunnel, bounced off into the snow, and the lid went flying, the magnet went flying, everything went flying. And then I had a couple of bottles of juice, and I tucked them up in the dashboard by the windshield. Those went flying. Matter of fact, one of the other guys ice fishing on the lake, it fell off when Tim made a run to the bar, and he came trotting over with a bottle of juice. So I'm like, I got to have a way to carry fluids on here. Bam. Menards. This is a vent guard for the top of a stink stack on a house. All right, so squirrels and stuff don't get in there. It's a perfect drink holder. It's got a lip around it, so I can put a bead of really strong glue around this lip. I'll drill a hole in the top of that lid that's this diameter. I'll set this down in there, and my Yeti will fit in there perfectly. And that is going to go probably right about here, and the auger would go on the other side. So I'm right-handed, so I'll have a place just like that to carry my drinks. And it'll fit a bottle of water, a bottle of juice, a can of beer, a can of soda, and my big Yeti tumbler fits in there. I tried it. Bounces around a little bit, but I tried it. It ain't going anywhere. So that'll be my drink holder. Not only that, I was thinking about mounting the fish finder on the handlebars. I think I might mount it right here. Right on top of this bracket. This will all strengthen up once I get the aluminum sheeting on there. And then of course the headlight is going to go right here. So, yeah. Searching all over Menards for something, and this popped out at me, and I'm like, that is perfect. So that's what I'm going to use for a drink holder. Ventilated and everything. Yeah, cool. So, so that's, the skins are going to hopefully be fabricated and bent and everything on Thursday. That means Friday I can paint them, and I can mount them on the machine. And then once the paint is dry, I can put my decals on. The rest of the decals on, which aren't back from the designer yet. Trust me, they're going to be really cool. I pretty much, without bragging or tooting my own horn, I can pretty much say this is going to be the absolute best, coolest track sled out there. This will be better than a snow dog. Yeah, that's a... them are some strong words, aren't they? No. I'm paying attention to detail. I've got boatloads of power. The way I've engineered this thing and designed it, it's going to be pretty much bulletproof. It's going to be simple. And, yeah, it's going to be a thing to behold when it's done. I got high hopes for it. Let's put it that way. If not, it's going to be the prettiest lawn ornament I have. Put it that way. So tonight, I really don't know what to do. I mean, I'm itching to be productive, but I really think I'm at the point where there's not much more I can do except take my measurements for my cables, maybe get a preliminary wiring diagram drawn up. Oh, another thing. Let me show you the skis. Okay, so here's the skis. Here's the mounts that I made, right? Bulletproof, right? So I welded that up last night, mounted these skis on here, and it's perfect because they are centered over the weight of the engine. And I intentionally raised the machine up in the air with the crane so it was tipped slightly backwards, and then mounted the skis to the machine and took all my measurements from that point. So now when the machine is sitting on the ground, you can see it, it's darn near level, if not tipped slightly back, which is what I want. I want it tipped slightly back instead of nose forward so that it always wants to climb. When I took this off of the sawhorses and I installed the track and everything like that, and I got it done and I finally rolled it over on its feet, it immediately dived on its nose. I mean, it was so weight forward that the back of the track came off the ground. And that's when I knew I got no choice. I got to put these skis on. these skis are what are going to support this machine and give it the right attitude. So I got it perfect where I want it. I'm super happy. So, but what I do need to do is I got to get the flop out of the skis. So if you look, the skis pivot. All right. So you want some pivot in them, but you don't want them to be able to tuck under, or if you're pulling it off the trailer and the ski catches on the ramp or something like that, have the ski flip straight up in the air. You don't want any of that bad stuff to happen. So you have to have some sort of a limiter strap system so that the skis can move a little bit, because if you're coming off the lake and you're coming to a steep shoreline and you got to go up that shoreline, you don't want to just ram your skis. If I made those skis solid, I'd just ram them right into the side of the hill. It would never climb. So the skis have to move. So what I think I'm going to do, this might be another stroke of genius, is you see there's an indent, there's a dimple here, and there's a hole here, okay? This is where the wear rod used to be on the ski, which I took off. I don't want wear rods on the front. I want it to be able to turn, all right? So I'm going to mount an eye bolt here, drill this out, mount an eye bolt here. I'm going to run a short rubber bungee from that eye bolt up to here, and then one from here down to here. That will put tension on the back one when it wants to tip up. It'll put tension on the front one when it wants to tip down. And it'll basically act like a limiter strap. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that design. It's not something I can fabricate now because I was at Menards today and I forgot to get eye bolts. I didn't even think of that. And I forgot to get the eye bolts. Otherwise, I could do that tonight. Another project I'm going to work on tonight is this front area right here. See where my foot's going through? Okay? That can't be. So I have a big sheet of 16 gauge sheet metal over there. Let me stop blinding you. And that's going to get riveted across there, which will act, again, like a ramp. When I'm in deep snow, the snow is going to come underneath here, and that's going to cause the machine to want to climb. So I can sheet that. I'm sheeting it with steel instead of aluminum because I got a feeling it could take a pounding, both from the snow and also if I go on a lake or if I'm in the woods and there's a stump. I want something there that's going to be able to handle the stump. So I can make that, measure that off, make that tonight, install it, paint it, the whole thing. So I guess I got a few things to do. So I'm going to get cracking. I'll check in with you when I get something accomplished, and we'll go from there. Oh, before I sign off, I'll show you the handlebars. You see I got a couple of pieces of foam on there. Yeah, it's all about the details. Attention to the details. So if I want to keep the machine looking good, right? Oh, I see I better do some more. Something shifted. Probably when I was playing with the ski. There. So the foam protects the paint on the handlebars when it's laying on the skis. That's how it'll be transported. Skis folded over, or handlebars folded over, resting on the skis. Worked out perfect. I was going to run bolts through the side of the hood and with a piece of rubber on them so it didn't scratch, like a little handlebar sticking out. And then I flipped it over just to take a look at it. I'm like, it sits right on the skis. It's perfect. So, yeah, things are going my way. So I'll get busy here. I'll check in with you in a bit.